On this week's HoT 10 reserve list video, it is becoming very apparent that players are shopping for deals and attacking mid-level reserve list cards at new all-time lows. It looks like Christmas is coming a little bit early for a lot of reserve list buyers. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thank you for being here on the channel with me today. Guys, I want to just say thank you again. The channel is growing so quickly right now, it just seems phenomenal. So thank you to the new viewers coming in and hitting that subscribe button. To my regular viewers who've supported this channel from the beginning, thank you so much, guys. And what would this channel be without the patrons who actually financially help me keep this channel going? Thank you again. There would be nothing here without the patrons and YouTube membership members. Thanks, everyone. Now let's take a look at some amazing HoT 10 cards this week. People are attacking cards I have never seen on the HoT 10 before, and the number one card blew my mind away. It's just so unexpected to see what's happening out there in the secondary market that I'm really looking forward to drilling down on this and going through it card by card to let you know what I think is going on out there. So let's get down to it. Let's take the trip down the yellow brick road together from number 10 to number 1. These are your HoT 10 reserve list cards this week. We are starting out in Stronghold with MOX Diamond at number 10. 20 sales this week with a market price of $593.83 US. Here in Canada, if you tried to buy this card, you're looking at around $800 to $850 Canadian for a near mint copy. Overseas, €424 and 1 cent to get this card into your house. Now, MOX Diamond has been on a bit of a downward trend, allowing players the opportunity to trade in some cards and work into that price point level. When I look at this card and you compare it against the Ancient Copper Dragon, Meat Hook Massacre, which was recently banned, some of these cards had higher value. Even Mox Amber at around $80, you'd only be trading in 5 or 6 cards of this type to really close the gap on the value of a MOX Diamond. And this is allowing players to get this card, because the market value you're seeing is for a near mint copy, and that's not what people are buying. They're buying the light played and moderately played copies, which I've seen for other cards of mid-level range, but not for MOX Diamond. It's interesting to see cards like this finally finding their ways into hands of players who've never had the chance before, and now they can go ahead and add it to commander decks they've always wanted to build with and make their decks a little more competitive on the big scene. Way to go, guys. MOX Diamond, an amazing choice for players who decided to pick this card up this week. Now our next card is Time Spiral. Urzas Saga, 21 sales this week. This card has plummeted in price. I myself paid $200 for a near mint copy of Time Spiral, probably just before the height of 2021. This card has come collapsing down. Even in Canada, you can find copies for around the $130 for a heavily played copy, just if you needed a play copy to have, which is only a couple of cards really for trading in, or a very small amount of money when you compare to how much this card used to be. It's been as high as almost $300, and it should be higher. The fact that it's this low is just an opportunity waiting to happen for some of the whales out there, some players who have liquidity, allowing them to grab this card. The market price is only $155.32 US. Guys, this is just one of those moments in time that, although I hate seeing the loss of value in cards, it's like any other market. It goes up and down, and this is at that kind of all-time low where things have really come down, making it just almost like a possibility for people who've never had the chance. You're going to hear me saying this a lot in this video, I feel. It's an amazing thing. Excuse me. Now, number 8 is the Anvil of Bogarten. We mentioned this last week, and of course it did have an uptick in sales, but the price continues to fall because even 22 sales is not enough to budge the market at all. It's not enough to make a wedge thing where the price would go up. So players buying this card have been buying the near mint quality copies of this card. They're going for the best of the best because it's less than $50 to get it. It's like trading in, I guess what, the Wandering Emperor? A couple of Otawars? Like, it's an insanely cheap price for a card like this that now you realize this card was at like almost $200. It's 1/4 of what it cost. it's 75% off right now for you to afford. Like, crazy stuff, guys. Love seeing cards like this reach those levels. I mean, I know it's going to go back up, so I'm not really concerned. But even me, I have taken advantage, not in this week's sales, but in a previous week. I did buy some Anvils, I think, and they were really cheap, like 27 bucks. Crazy stuff. And guys, if you're buying any of these cards on TCG Player, please remember to click on the link in my description of videos. My affiliate link is listed there for TCG. And if you hit that link, it takes you right to TCG Player. You can start your shopping experience, but the channel gets a kickback of a few bucks to help me get cards going for my Arabian Nights set. I really appreciate everyone who's been helping me out. Thanks again, guys. Now, the number 7 card is Yawgmoth's Will, Urzas Saga. Guys, look at that. Market price is staying steady. This is nearly the same price we saw last week, but 23 sales tells me people are realizing that this card is at a good bargain, okay? I think the card's actually going to fall further. Hasn't happened yet because people are starting to buy it at this point. But if it sits there again after these players get flushed out and say they don't want it anymore, you might see that card start slipping again as more sellers try to make this card fall further in the market as a race to the bottom to see who will have the lowest price and get the liquidity that they're looking for. It's crazy. Great card. Now, number 6, Thrall Champion. What would a video be without the mighty Thrall Champion hitting the board? Now, 26 sales, of course, is not a huge amount, but this week it's more than enough to make it to number 6. This card has a market price of $7.93. It's kind of bouncing around right now. People buying this card are buying the near mint copies, okay? They're going for the best of the best. Fallen Empires got abused. Cards were really roughed up. There's not a lot of near mints out there, really. So the players buying this right now are buying near mint copies, which is why the price is actually staying buoyant where it is right now. It should be a lot cheaper because you can go for a moderately played copy for like $1.25 right now on TCG Player. So seeing it this, you're like, hey, it's still kind of high. The card's not even used. It's a piece of junk. Everyone hates this card. Well, almost everyone. We know I love this card, and so do a lot of you guys. It just has that great utilitarian purpose because this card can be broken. People always forget that. Thrall Champion can be broken. All it needs is a couple more Thralls to get printed that give that tribal support to mix in with Changelings and other things. The fact it takes control of Thralls is an amazing thing. People just don't think about it. They don't see it that way yet. But they will one day. I think they will. Now, the number 5 card is Brain Geyser back on the list with 27 sales this week. Great to see Brain Geyser back. And that, again, is due to the uncertainty in the market. The price is falling, and the people buying these cards are buying near mint. So people who went for Brain Geyser said, what's $27 really to get a near mint copy from Revised, or pay $90 and get myself an unlimited? Pretty crazy stuff. Congratulations to those of you who sent me those photos. Awesome stuff. It's Brain Geyser. Not much to say. Great card. Still gets played because it's a target player. It's not just one person. People kind of forget that. A lot of the cards that draw now, and this card here is being used with Shieldred, by the way. Okay, because it says target player, draws X cards. People are forking it, copying it, manipulating it that way to make other opponents draw a lot of cards, which kills them with Shieldred. So, pretty amazing stuff. And it really, very cheap card. It was like $85, $90, so great price. Number 4, Sliver Queen. Now, there's been some discussion since the Secret Lair drop stuff, I know. So here we have Stronghold Sliver Queen with an uptick in sales at 28 sales, causing a little bit of bouncing around on the market. It's still much lower than it was before when it reached those heights of around $600 to $700 US. When you see the market price at $287.55 and knowing this is that one sliver that's not coming back, that's really driving the market forward right now. When you see a Secret Lair sliver come out, and there's a whole array of them like Sliver Legion stuff you can get your hands on, guys, and the reprints of slivers, this is allowing people the opportunity to get the most important sliver. I know there's lots of other ones that are better than Sliver Queen now, but for players who love a sliver deck, you gotta have the Queen. It's right in the name, Sliver Queen. I get it. And people got this one at a great time. This is a cheap price. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at number 3, I'm surprised to see this card back on because it was already here. And that is the Metalworker, and that is from Urzas Destiny. 31 sales this week. Now that market price at $141.42 US. Here in Canada, you're looking at a moderately played copy for $160. Okay, near mint sold out, but it says it would be $200. So keep that stuff in mind. And overseas, it's €90.19 to get this card into your house. But I look at this card. Has that downward trend. I know people were worried before because Rudy had bought a stack on the secondary market. And people are like, oh, it didn't move the price. Well, of course it didn't move the price because it wasn't reflected in things like TCG Player, eBay, and stuff. It's a private sale. That doesn't move the market officially, although unofficially it made a huge dent. So you look at metalwork and you realize this kind of card with Brothers War and stuff coming up, I think is what's keeping the sales going. I expected it to slow down. It has not done so. It's on the list again at a very respectable number, and that's kind of making people think, hey, maybe I should just buy one. They're fairly inexpensive right now. That apparently is what's happening. So way to go, Metalworker. Now the number 2 card this week is City of Solitude with 33 sales. I know a brand new number 1 card this week that you will not expect. I'll tell you that right now. Our next card, number 1, is crazy. City of Solitude is from Visions, 33 sales. And, of course, the price is super cheap. This card was like $75, and now it's like a market price of like $16, moderately to light played on TCG Player. Crazy stuff. And remember, it's just 1 green, which is amazing. It's a splash, right? 1 green, 2 generic. You can fit that anywhere. Love this card, guys. It really slows things down, and when constructed properly, can really make an effective offensive spell thing for your deck to have, especially if you built it a certain way to have your stuff not countered. Now, the number 1 card. I know you've waited this time. We're down the Yellow Brick Road. We're at the bottom. And this is the number 1 card this week. And it threw me for a loop. Academy Rector. Urzas Destiny. 56 sales out of nowhere. Comes Academy Rector. Now, the market price is only $84.76. A moderately played copy was $54. There's no way this card should be this cheap. With what white can do nowadays, no way. A foil, though, you notice that price is still really high. $844.80 US for the foil, because, of course, it's Urza's Destiny. First foils ever. €66.10 to get this card into your house. But I look at the Academy Rector and I realize that since I don't track every single card out there, seeing this card up there and catching my eye when I did a cursory review of a whole bunch of cards this week, I saw the sales mounting. I started looking around, asked around, got the emails back, and counted up the totals. And you're like, this is high. This is unusual. And that means there's people out there buying cards like this at mid-level, at the mid-level tier. These aren't the bottom of the barrel reserve list cards. These aren't the low of the low. This isn't Ication Lieutenant, which I love. It's not the Hand of Justice, right? Guys, those are mid-level cards. Most of the cards on the list this week have been here before. But seeing the sales volume at this time of year with the uncertainty, there are people taking advantage of the open market right now with the prices being so low. It's like hunting season. And there's a lot of prey out there that you get to hunt down and pick up at super great prices right now. So thank you, everyone, for hanging out with me on the channel, for checking out the Hot 10. How do you feel knowing Academy Rector comes out of nowhere, never been on the list before, and makes it right there to number 1? Let me know what you guys are thinking. I'm very curious to know. And the person who bought 16 copies, send me an email. I want to know why you did it. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. Looking forward to seeing you on the live stream tonight, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, every Sunday. I'll see you guys there. And of course, the patrons. The ones who make it happen. The ones who say, you know what? I care enough to pitch in a couple of bucks. Thanks again, guys. Patrons rock. Hey guys, welcome back, 3%ers. You having a great day? You're glad you're here? You chilled out with me? You checked out the reserve list video? Said, hey, what's Mox Man got going at the end? Why? It's an Eternal Masters pack. And this Eternal Masters pack is going into that 20K bin. That's where it went. Eternal Masters into the 20K box. And in case you haven't watched this before, you got to pay attention to the end of my videos. You never know when something's going to go in that box. Remember that something's going in the box. Because one day we're going to get to 20K. And it's happening right now. Faster than I expected. Can't wait to get there. Thanks again, guys. Have an awesome day. Gonna keep drinking some coffee. Coffee.